Hey, yo. What's going on? I'm gonna hop back on, send off the rest of those texts. I got like 100 and I think 60 more to hit my goal of 500 on the week. I think I may have like 100 and like close to 200 left. I might as well just go through all of them. I don't know. But got some more responses trickled in since I initially sent these off about an hour or two ago. So a couple more no's came through, kind of tagging those, dispositioning the text. But it's definitely slowed down. So I'm going to toss out some more text on the day. If you're new here, my name is Derek, wholesaling real estate. I've closed 2 deals virtually, and I'm looking to close some more here. So just kind of documenting my journey. I try to go live Monday through Friday, at least once a day. Go live and do cold calling, follow-ups, my new kind of SMS text blast software here, documenting that process as well. And as well as some pre-recorded videos like comping properties. And I have a little mini Driving for Dollars series on my channel as well. It's like a little 3-part series, just how I build my Driving for Dollars list virtually. It's the exact process that I use still and the exact process that I used when I got my first 2 deals. But here we go. I'm going to filter these out. Everybody that has this tag and sort it by the last activity so I can be sure that I'm grabbing all these contacts that have not been texted before. Page size of 100. I just want to make sure none of these 100 have been texted. Let me go get the next 100. So these ones have. So I have about 196 left. I think I'm just going to do all of them. Let me go deselect these 4. Last 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if that's the type of content that you're interested in, go ahead, drop a like on this video. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to hit the notification bell, get notified of when I do go live Monday through Friday. I tend to go live around this time every day. This is the second time I've gone live today. So around midday every day. But we'd love to have you live. Love to talk with you, answer any questions that you might have. I'm by no means a pro, but for somebody who's just starting out, I may be able to provide a little bit of guidance. At least, if anything, reflect on my experience in getting my 2 deals closed and what I did to be able to make that happen. All right, so I have 196 selected. Going to add to campaign. Okay, proceed. Add them to the general day, 20-day campaign. Add in drip mode. I'm going to name this 196 contact import to Gen 20-day campaign. Phone 1. Start on today in 3 minutes. 3:55 p.m. my market's time. 1:55 p.m. my time. Batch quantity, I'm going to up it. This is the most I've ever done. I'm going to up it to 5, repeating every 1 minute. So 5 a minute. 5 new texts going out a minute. Let's see if I can handle the inflow. And then the window to process it, 3:30 p.m. This is kind of optional just in case you did your math wrong. So 5 every minute. It would take me about 40 minutes to blow through the 200 contacts. So just in case my math is wrong there, that gives me a little window to cut it off just in case, which I always do. So
So it's going to start at 3:55. It's going to take me about, what did I just say, 40 minutes to get through it. So I'll cut it off at 5 p.m. just in case. So that's going to start adding those into the campaign in 2 minutes once I say okay, which I just did. All right. So that's queued up. Somebody had just texted me too while I was doing that, saying no from Guadalupe. Go ahead, marker not interested. If my computer will load up. No, not interested. Boom. All right. Going out in 1 minute. Let's see if I can keep up. All right. It should have started going out. Refresh the screen. Damn, it's going slow. Definitely not a good start. And they still haven't gone out. Let me go check the bulk actions. Make sure it's queued up properly. And I didn't start it like tomorrow or something. Nope, it says it's going. 10 have already been sent out. I don't see them. Oh, there they are. There we go. Got some catching up to do. All right. Yeah, here we go. Octavio says, sure. Hella quick. I'm gonna run some comps on this, try to get him on the phone. See if I have a template for this. Great, I'd love to learn a bit about the property. When are you free to talk? That happened with the quickness. Was not expecting that. This is in that same area that I'm very familiar with. This is where my first deal was, so I am familiar with the price points and stuff, but I still just want to run some quick comps just to be sure if I do end up hopping on the phone with him right now.
he's ready to go, ready to go. I have some numbers. 3-1. This one sold. Same subdivision, 165 in May. It was a 3-2, so ours would sell for 155, about 150 square feet smaller though. So 155, I'd say 165, maybe even more. When it brings it back up to 165. Oh, similar lot size too, which is good because ours is a big lot size. So this is our comp for sure. Bigger lot, smaller square foot of the property itself. You may even want to allow that to offset because ours is bigger by like 150 square feet, but their lot is almost 2,500 square feet bigger, and theirs has an extra bathroom. I'd say ours is probably 170 ARV. Let's see where these other ones sit. Yeah, this is the perfect comp and nothing else. It has to be in this area. See if anything else sold a year ago. Yeah, there's another one in this area. 165 or 155, same beds, bath. Ours is just barely bigger square feet, but huge, way bigger lot. Ours is so the lot size as well. This one's the perfect comp. So yeah, I'd say 170 ARV. Call it like 115 less repairs on a 1,100 square foot house. If it needs to be fully gutted, remodeled, 55, but if it needs a fair amount of stuff done to it, 75. Cosmetic rehab, maybe 90, somewhere around there. Possibly pushing 100K if it's really cosmetic and I want to take a haircut on my assignment fee. I'm just going to say that. Great, I'd love to learn a bit about the property. When are you free to talk? Okay, he wasn't serious. I don't think that was the same guy. Yeah, it was. Hey, Joe here. Are you sending the text out right now? What up, Joe? Yeah, I'm sending them out right now. Up in the ante on them too. I'm sending 5 out per minute, which is the most I've ever sent out. And this list that I just got in here last night or 2 nights ago is a mobile only list too. I made the mistake of importing a list with landlines attached to them the first time around. So this is actually being sent to people who have the ability to respond. But one guy just said, sure, we can talk about it. And then I asked when he was available to talk. And he said after this orgy that I'm having. So I just wasted a couple minutes running comps for no reason, but good practice nonetheless. After I'm done with this orgy. I'm not interested. I appreciate his comedy though. It's taken note of and appreciated. He can keep bringing those type of responses all day. See, it's at the point where I really don't need to be clicking through every single individual message now because it's mobile only. At first I was doing that because I wanted to catch it if it was a landline and stop them from getting more texts because I was just wasting money. But even still, I've been going through individually just out of habit, and I'm still finding certain numbers that are kicking back with Twilio errors. But it's the error that says that their phone could be off, they can no longer receive messages, stuff like that. It's not like a landline error code. But I've been just canceling those, getting rid of those out of the campaign as well, because I don't know what their circumstances. So it's a little offsetting. I really wanted it to be like a hands-free thing. I know at scale, it's not going to be that big of a deal to be texting, unnecessarily here and there, but it's just money wasted, in my opinion. See, like this one right here. So I've just been grabbing them, identifying them, and then adding them to the errors list. And then what I'm going to do is pull that errors list every time it gets to like 100 to 200 people, and then bring that list over to my dialer so that I can try calling that number instead. All right, Daphne says, no, thanks. This next one looks interesting. Henry says, how do you run comps on mobile homes? The same way you run it on single families. Same way. I'm not an expert in mobile homes by any means. I've never done a deal for a mobile home, but I know what you really want to be sure of is if they own the land underneath it as well. That's what you really want to be sure of. Because if it is the better play, the better, best and highest and best use of that land is to build new construction, then that's what the investor should do. But yeah, if it's a mobile home, you got to be careful too. I'm not sure of the exact year, but you want to be careful. There's a certain year where if you buy it and you look to resell it, the mobile home, that it's not financeable. So at a certain year, banks stop loaning on, um, or rather started loaning on mobile homes. So you got to be careful with that as well, because you may be able to get a deal under contract, but it won't be attractive to a cash buyer. In the future, I'll sell, not selling now to an investor. I am one more self. Good luck. I think he's saying that he's an investor himself, not selling now to an investor. In the future, I'll sell. Okay. I kind of want to like pry a little bit here. Just not quite sure what to say. I guess that's why I have these templates. I built them out previously for responses like this. Let me take a look at what I have pre-templated. I want to see though. Oh yeah, this guy does own 6 properties. Typically, I don't like to market to people like this. I'm not going to. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Again, just clicking through, making sure that none of these are kicking back as errors. They need to make a change in this where if it ever kicks back as an error, it just stops it from continuing to be marketed to. Because it will, that's the only reason I'm doing this is because it will continue sending text to that number. think it's kind of silly. There needs to be some type of like fail safe in the back end to be able to stop that from happening. Not for sale. Well, Carlos. Oh, here we go. I'm all caught up, I guess. Novia. Javier. Oh, sheesh. All right. I'm all caught up here. Pop over to my unreads. I don't own that property, says Raul. Let me see if he has another number here. He doesn't, so I'm just going to go ahead and put him into the wrong number opportunity, pipeline stage, and mark it as lost. Wrong number, lost. And then what it's going to try to do is going to try to send it out to a second phone number, although there isn't one. So I'm going to watch it for a second. It's going to add it to that campaign, then I'm going to take it out. And I think that should do it for that. Not for sale. Interested in that property. Refresh the screen. Let's see how many have gone out thus far. About half, 110. Wrong number. See, then that's going to trigger it to try to replace it with the second phone number in line. And then it's going to try to send off a new campaign to her. Although if there is no second number in line, which doesn't look like there is, that's the problem with my triggers right now. I try to get cute with it and make it something special for when the new numbers got replaced and yada yada, but it ended up just making it didn't make sense for when you do a mobile only list. It only made sense if you were trying to work around the fact that you imported a list with landlines, which is something that you shouldn't do. It was just a mistake that I had done the first time. So now I got to kind of go back in and rework all the triggers that are firing off incorrectly and stuff. Which will only take a minute. I should be able to do that tonight. Should do it tonight. I got a nope. Can we talk about it? Nope.
I'm gonna go over to my parents and take him out for a little bit.
Okay.
What time are you moving tonight?
In like an hour.
I probably won't see you anymore.
I'll see you tonight.
Are you on the video? Don't disgust me. Come on. You wanna go to Grammy's?
Yes.
I know you do. Come on. You go to Grammy's? You go under the bed, you're not gonna come with me. Come on. Leo, I'm going to Grammy's. Come on. Do you wanna come? If you wanna come, let's go.
Just go grab his leash.
Okay, bye.
I mean, yeah, but not too cold.
You see my text?
Yeah, I replied.
See you.
All right.
All I want for Christmas is
Yeah, let's turn it to the right. Yeah. Hmm. All right. I think this list has just already been. I mean, well, clearly not because I'm still getting no's, but I had already called this list. I already dialed this list. So these are just the people who I wasn't able to get a hold of on the phone. I've got some people talking like they were interested, though. And it's also not like I imported like thousands of people here. I just did, I think it was like 396 or something like that. So the fact that I texted like 396 people and I got a few people, I mean, they're not hot leads by any means, but I like almost got a realtor referral earlier had his sister not been an agent. I mean, I plan on following up with that guy though, to see if he sold his house. So, I mean,
not incredible results by any means. If anything, it's just proving to me that the list isn't fully milked for all it's worth. Technically, this is the same list from where I got my first deal. Hi, Diana. Have you given any thought to parting ways with address? Can we talk about it? And she texted back saying, I'm on my way. I'm going to say, I'm sorry. Did you have any interest in possibly selling your place on that road? I'll shoot her a little clarifying text. I don't mind. I feel like I've seen a couple people who maybe are just replying to reply to like stop the text from coming. I don't know. I could be giving them too much credit though. But this one guy just kept saying hi. And I like sent him one clarifying text like that. Like, I'm sorry, was there any interest in selling this place? And then he said hello. This is his wife. This is my number. And no, we are not selling our house. Thank you. Not interested. Let's see how many more. This makes me want to get a fresh list in here for next week. Yeah, about 30 more going out. People are starting to get their ringless voicemails too. Not at this time. I use it for hoe house. Okay. It's getting closer to that yes. Closer to that yes. Let's see if maybe if I can pull up if there's anybody I can follow up with right now on the phone while I'm doing this. Really get them, you know? Up in those numbers. Quit playing around. Quit playing, Derek. Quit playing around, bro. Run the numbers up, dude. All right. All these texts are going to have been sent out probably, how many did I say we're left? 30? Oh, yeah, probably within the next 5 minutes. They'll all be sent out. But they're slowly starting to get, like I said, the ringless voicemail drops. They get sent 3 minutes after the initial text, just to allow them some time to actually text back if they see it. Because if they do reply with like, no, not for sale, not interested, I don't have to waste the money dropping them a ringless voicemail. I may even want to extend that to like 5 to 8 minutes. Because I feel like 3 minutes, now that say it out loud. 3 minutes still isn't that much time if their phone was in the other room or something. But then they get texted the next day with another ringless voicemail. And then they get texted the next day. I think double texted the next day. And then it starts to go out like every 5 days, then every 7 days, then like a 10-day gap before the last one. Something like that. And if they don't respond, they get added. They get added to my cold call list. I made a specific pipeline stage called push to cold call. So they get added to that pipeline stage within the pipeline, and then every time it builds up to like 100 or 200, I'll export that into my dialer. I'm going to be straight up and honest. Please stop contacting me. If I want to sell my house, I will reach out to someone, but I am not interested in selling it at all. Have a good day. Okay. At least she was straight up and honest. I'm going to be straight up and honest. Please stop contacting me if I want to sell my house. I'm trying to dissect this because I'm trying to determine if it's worth following up with her or not. Please stop contacting me. If I want to sell my house, I will reach out to someone. But I am not interested in selling at all. Have a good day. The whole message was just really contradictory. Like she was saying two different things the whole time. But the system flagged her as DNC, so I'll let it do its thing because she said stop in there somewhere. System picked up on it, added it to DNC. What was I? Oh, yeah, I was going to see if I could do some follow-ups. Let's see. Let's see who there is to call. Call that woman back who hung up on me yesterday. Talking about there was an emergency at work and she's going to call right back. Please. This is my first rodeo. Come on now. Hit me with that. Say you don't want to talk. You know what I mean? You don't have to lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. Let's see. Andrea, errors, Rodolfo. Starting to slow down a little bit here. Maria went through. Jacob King, I like that name. Oh, this guy won't let it rest. He's a funny guy here. We got a funny guy. We got a funny guy. He says, after I'm done with this orgy, okay, I'm done. What next? Like, no, bro. You're already in the not interested. Let it go. Just let it go, man. Wrong number. Take me off your list, says Irma. All right, Irma, fine. You don't want my help? Whatever. Wesley says no. Bertha goes through. Melton, error. Emilio. Good. Amelia. good. Guadalupe, good. Sandra, good. Esmeralda, Homero, errors. Hector, good. German, good. Larissa, good. I'll refresh my page. Larissa at 234 is where I left off. While that's refreshing, let me see if I can follow up with anybody here. Hugo here. Let's see what I was going to follow up with Hugo about. I think Larissa at 234 might be that last contact. Hugo, interested, but he wants to pay down his mortgage a little bit more. That's right. So that when he does sell, he can walk away with some more money. He gave me permission to follow up in a few months. I just talked with him last week. I just want to try to not even convince him, just educate him. Like, if you're paying the mortgage yourself and it's not cash flowing, you're just going to end up paying more money. And when you go to get a bigger check, when you sell it to me, you're going to have to reduce the amount that you paid to pay down the mortgage. You know what I mean? Regardless of how much you pay off the mortgage, it doesn't affect how much I can pay for the property, right? So if you're interested in selling, even the slightest, I always recommend that you should sell now, because yeah, you're not going to be able to like walk away with this huge check. But again, even if you were able to pay down your mortgage to a point where, okay, you're selling now and you can walk away with a bigger check, but then again, you've already paid money in order to get that bigger check by paying down your mortgage. And you just want, in my opinion, you don't want to play with the market. You know, it's good right now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be better tomorrow. You know, it could be worse. So I know what I'm able to pay you today, but come tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to be the case. And that's what I want to tell him. But I also don't want to insult him because I just talked to him and he said, give me a call in a few months. So I'll give him a call in like a month. Talked with him on the 4th. I'll just give him a call before the end of the month. Oh, I said, okay, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. I think this one's just a task for me to run comps. Yeah, tripping. I can do that one the day of or the day before. Let me move that. Check back in. Excuse me on these texts. Oh, these are a bunch that were, dang, they all just got texted from yesterday. Oh my gosh. And I made a mistake yesterday and I texted like 150 people all at the same time. So now when they're getting dripped through the campaign, they're going to get texted all at the same time every day. Every time they get texted, it's going to be all at the same time. I didn't think about that yesterday. That's going to fuck with my phones. I need to like go through and take all these people out. Whatever, man. I'm doing this at such small scale. I need to stop thinking about these little details. Fuck it. Whatever. They all got sent out at the same time. Let me handle it real quick. Quit complaining about it. But I definitely am not going to be able to do any follow-ups right this second. I have some people. I sent out hella texts today. See what some of these replies are saying. I got the app, so it's notifying me. Wrong number, take me off your list. No. Wrong number. No, sorry. No, sorry. I think you got the wrong number. It's not for sale unless you have 300 to give me. I'll check the price on that. I'd imagine it's probably a little high though. Not interested. Lose this number. I do not own that property. Nothing favorable yet, but I just saw a spike in replies because, again, everybody who got texted yesterday just got texted again right now. So some of them are replying to the new text that I just sent out. Some people are replying from the second text, which is why I want to dedicate just my Mondays and Tuesdays to texting. Because everybody who I add to the campaign for day one gets texted on day 1, day 2, and day 3. So I'm limiting myself to sending out new texts, adding people to the campaign for the first time on Mondays and Tuesdays, so that they can get dripped throughout the week. And the latest that somebody's getting a new text is on a Thursday. I'm just clicking through all these. I'm catching a few that got sent out yesterday that kicked back an error that I missed. So just combing through the messages that I just sent out, making sure that I'm not wasting money sending these to any landlines, because these are from the old list. I finished my old list yesterday and then started my new list yesterday as well. So some of these are from my old list, the ones that are getting texted today for the second time. So some of them still have some landlines on there. All right. No, sorry. Not interested. Lose this number. I need to add a trigger on the back end. The word's not interested. Just need to automatically tag that not interested. I do not own that property. Stop sending message. House is sold. It picked up on stop, which is why you want to review these too. I mean, it picked up on the word stop, so it added it to the DNC list. But like, there's a little bit more context to his message there, right? Not stop sending message. House is sold. Sounds like maybe a guy who has another house, because obviously he sold that one. He's got to be living somewhere at least if that one was owner occupied. If not, and then he just sold an absentee owned property, maybe he has another one. You know what I mean? This is probably somebody who I would want to ask if he has any other properties. Stop sending message. House is sold. You know what I mean? It already did its thing though with the DNC, so I'm not going to go back in there and edit it just to ask if he has any other properties. But you know what I mean? Not Raul. So if this wants to load, I'm going to move it. But it doesn't want to load, which is fine. All right, it's bugging out now. Irma, I feel like I called her yesterday. Has been offered anywhere from 40 to, oh, this is the same guy. And again, this is not, that's just the, I want to run some comps. Follow up with seller, that's, Gerald, I haven't talked to Gerald in forever. I talked to him once. He wasn't a very hot lead. Bob says, sure, give me a call. All right. Let me run some comps real quick. See what he's talking about. Not familiar with the area. Let me see whereabouts it is. 251's estimate, higher estimate than I'm really like looking for. To be quite honest, looks like he rents it out. It was listed on Zillow. let me run some comps on it real quick. Built in 77, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. This guy owns 2 properties. This is not the one that he lives in. This is absentee owned. Residential, single family. I'm gonna go 1,700 to 2,100, 130. Year built from 1970 to 1990. That's what I'm like. A window of time there. A lot of activity in the area, so I'm gonna actually limit it to his specific subdivision, which gives us 4 properties that sold within the last year. One sold July 30th for $267. That one had 1 less bed and one half less bathroom. So I think ours would have sold for $250, let's say. Oh no, I'm sorry, 267, 80. I'd say like 280 conservatively. And we have about 100 extra square feet, so I'd say 290. A little bit extra on the lot, nothing that big of a deal. Year built, same year built. So I'd say, what did I say? An ARV of 290. His estimate is 251. Let's see this other comp. Another 3.2. Oh no, looking at the wrong one. 4.5, same thing. This one's on the same street. Uh, this one sold for 240 in January of this year. It's a little bigger, a little smaller lot. So this one sold for 240. I'd say that that's the ARV. That's what you want to use. This other one that sold for 267. That's one less bed, half less bath, a little smaller. That one's same subdivision though. Uh, it's only 2/10 of a mile away. It's really just around the other side of the block. It's just that this one's on the other side of the street. So I'd say somewhere, I'd say 290 still. I mean, that one sold in the beginning of the year too, and this one was sold more recently. I'd say like 290. So 290, my max offer is probably going to be like 290. Like 215 less repairs. Maybe like 220 less repairs. 225 less repairs. It's a 1,900 square foot place. So even like a small renovation is going to run you like 30, average probably, 60, on the really heavy end, like 80. So we're looking anywhere from like 225 minus 80, 145 to 165 to 195, maybe 200 max MAO on a, what did I say RV was? 290, 200 max MAO. That doesn't really sound right. Oh, 200 max MAO if it's a light rehab. That makes sense. Let me give him a call. Bob. I might have just wasted my time. You know what I mean? Let's see what he's talking about though. Put my script out. Close the window.
Hello?
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
Bob, how's it going? This is Derek. We've been going back and forth through text about your property over on Parkdale Drive.
Yep.
Yeah, just wanted to steal a little bit of your time if now's a good time to catch you, learn a little bit about the property.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, all right, perfect. So I guess just a little bit about myself before I dive into it. It's my partner and myself. We do have some cash on hand, and we're looking to pick up a couple more properties before the end of the year here. So we can pay cash, and since we do have the cash on hand, we can kind of work with your timeline as well, if everything else makes sense, right? So just wanted to throw that out there. What can you tell me about the property? What's kind of the general condition of it?
Well, it's good. It's an older home, obviously, because it's in an older part of Kingwood.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was built in the mid 70s, but we lived there for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then we moved out about 3 years ago and bought another property.
Okay.
And I've had it under lease since a couple months after we moved out of it. So.
Okay. Okay. And the tenants treat you good?
It's a two-story. Well, it's actually called a 1.5 because it's got master bedroom and bath down, and then 3 bedrooms and a full bath up.
Okay.
But I put a new roof on it right before I leased it. I put double pane windows in, and I put siding on it about a year before I moved out of it. So it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say, if anything needs to be done to it? Has there been any recent work done to, say, like the kitchen or the bathrooms?
No, that would be you could spend some money remodeling it inside if you wanted. It was remodeled before we bought it in 2005 or 6.
Okay.
So it had new air conditioning, new toilets, new faucets, but not really any updating so
Right.
much. So it does look like it looks like an older home.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like what I'm understanding, the roof is newer. You put in some new windows, siding. In terms
Hmm.
of that AC unit, has that been replaced since you moved out?
Not since we moved out, no. And
Okay.
it had been replaced though when we bought it in. So it's 15 years old
Okay.
probably.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. And what about I know something that's been popping up is for the plumbing. Did you did you see any damage from the recent snowstorm with the plumbing or the electrical?
No,
No.
no,
Okay. All right. And in
mm-mm.
terms of that tenant that's in there, are they on a long-term lease or are they more month to month?
No. They're on a longer term lease.
Okay. Right. Do you mind
In fact, they've got a contract through May of next year, I think.
okay. All right.
How do
Man.
you deal with tenants when you're trying to buy property
So it
in
depends. And that's why I like to ask, if they are on a month to month to where we don't have to interrupt it if need be. But we obviously like to work with them. I always say, I'm by no means in the business of trying to kick anybody out on the street. So, they're a party that I'd like to consider as well, even if things, seem to be working well between me and you, I obviously want to make sure that they can be well taken care of as well. So sometimes we do like to offer maybe moving expenses. I can, get some movers out there to help. I can also put them into contact with a realtor that we work closely with. They may be able to help them find a new place to lease. But yeah, ideally, we would like to get the property delivered vacant. So it is something that we'd like to work with them and just take care of them the best that we can as well. So that, again, we're not kicking them out on the street or anything like that.
So what's your intent for the property?
We are looking for a property that could use a little bit of updating. That way we can build in some equity ourselves through doing some renovation. This does sound like one that we'd be interested in. Again, like you're saying, it sounds livable. Obviously, you got a tenant in there, but some of the things like the kitchen and the bathrooms, maybe the AC unit can use some replacing. So that would probably be the intent with it. Looking to flip it over the course of maybe a 3 to 6 month project, depending on how long the repairs
Right.
take. um but I wanted to ask, you've owned it for 10 years, you've been leasing it for 3. What's the idea behind selling it here?
Well, I'm not sure I want to sell it, but obviously real estate prices are pretty good right now, and
Yeah.
I know you're trying to buy it to flip it. So, but I'm more just curious what it would be worth to a cash investor.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Okay.
And
uh,
how did you find it? Number one, and what value do you think it has?
yeah, so to answer your first question, that's handled by the marketing team. So the lists kind of do get handed over to me. I'm not quite sure why your property specifically, to be honest. But it's obviously some reason, maybe just the zip code that the property falls under. We typically like to target certain zip codes. Um,
Hmm.
and then to answer your second question, yeah, it really is condition dependent. Based on what you're telling me, with the repairs that could be used, or added to it to maybe increase the value a little bit, we'd be looking, ballpark probably around 135 to 150 cash.
Okay.
How does that sit in what your expectations were?
Probably not too far off what I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously significantly below what the retail value would
Right.
be if I were to just put it on the market. But um, yeah, I mean, I get stuff all the time. That's one thing I did not anticipate when I decided to keep it as a rental property and go get something else. I didn't anticipate the number of text and phone calls and mailings that I would get from people trying to buy it.
I
So
gotcha. I gotcha.
normally I don't answer these calls, but I thought, well, okay, just I'm going to see what it's worth, see
Yeah.
what
Hey.
somebody's willing to give me for me.
Well, I'm glad you
So
decided to entertain me here. I'm hoping that I didn't beat you up too bad on the price. Again, what you were expecting, but I mean, I know you're saying that you're not really interested in selling. It sounds like maybe there's some consideration in your voice if the price was right. Am I wrong in assuming that?
no, you're not wrong.
Uh huh.
I guess my question then would be, what price or where would I have to be, in order to come to an agreement here on price?
I don't know if I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure. And actually, I've been real lucky. I've had these tenants in here for they've renewed their lease when the first one ran out, and they've taken real good care of the property, from what I can tell.
that's good.
So I've been real lucky as far as having a good tenants in there.
Right.
And so, mostly what I'm thinking is if I can keep them in there and keep them paying rent on time, then I may just keep it until it gets paid off. So,
Right, right. And that's kind of another thing that I tend to ask nowadays. It sounds like they've been able to pay on time despite all this craziness and the
yeah,
with COVID and all that. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah. Then
Knock on wood.
yeah, right, exactly. Things change every day, it seems like. So, but that's good. Yeah, and I try to be as transparent and honest with everybody. You know, we're not the best fit for everybody. Because again, I like to be honest in what my intentions are with the property, and our intentions are to make a profit. By no means am I
Sure.
looking to hit the lottery, but this is my full time job, so profits do have to be made. But
Yeah, I'm not opposed to people making a profit.
yeah, yeah. Right. So, do you mind me asking how much is left to pay down on the mortgage?
Ooh, I don't know. It's probably still a little over 100,000.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and then I guess what it really comes down to, based on how you're talking about it, is how much you want to walk away with at the end of the day, once that
Right.
mortgage is paid, and cleared. And again, we can pay cash. The only thing that we wouldn't cover from our end, obviously, is the outstanding mortgage balance, any unpaid taxes or liens or anything like that. And we could even, look into, if the numbers make sense for us, we could look into possibly covering the closing costs as well, so that it's really just a net cash offer in your pocket. You walk away with whatever is, offered on top of what is left to be paid on the mortgage. So,
So what kind of closing costs would you be talking about?
well,
Appraisal and title fee?
yeah, exactly. All the title company fees, doc fees, all the little miscellaneous fees that pop up in closing. Typically, it runs anywhere between 1 to 2% of the purchase price. So that
Okay.
again, if the numbers make sense, it's something that we may be able to just take care of as well, so that you can walk away with just that net. You'll know before we close how much you're going to walk away with.
Right. Okay. What's the name of your company?
My company, it's just a small little company. We're Pathfinder Properties. It's just kind of a little family-owned thing. A couple partners and myself. So, we're no big-time corporation by any means, but we like to, keep our eye on the market. We're doing about 1 to 2 flips a month, so we're just trying to keep the activity high. We've been
Right.
blessed during the COVID times as well, so we don't see any signs of slowing down. Like you're saying, the market is still hot. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if you wanna, if it's all right with you and it's appropriate, maybe call you in a month or two, just to give you some time to think about maybe how much you're wanting to walk away with, figure out how long that'll take for the tenants to pay off if you keep them in place, and that way, when I revisit, the conversation with you, we can maybe talk shop and see if we can come to an agreement on some prices.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. By then, I will know whether I want to even entertain it or I want to just
Right,
say, no,
right.
forget it. I'm just going to keep it for as long as I can. So,
Right. Okay. Perfect. When do you say
all right.
is a more appropriate time? Maybe 1 month. I'll give you a call.
A couple months, maybe. And tell me again your name. Would you say it was Derek?
Yep, Derek, like Derek Jeter.
Okay. Yeah, you wish you were Derek.
Yeah, I do.
You wouldn't be in this business.
I'm
You'd
telling
be sitting
you.
at home.
I'm telling you.
You'd be investing your money instead of flipping house.
I'd be looking for the guys who are doing what I'm doing to give them money.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Yeah, my name is
Okay,
Derek.
Derek.
I'll shoot you a text right when we get off the phone, just so you can lock me in. So when I give you a call back in a couple of months, I don't catch you off guard by a random number here.
Great. All right. Thank you, Sam.
All
Take
right.
care.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye now.
All right. Bye.
Quality conversation. Good guy. Glad I gave him a call. Glad I gave him a price. It's not unreasonable to him, and I still had room to work with, I feel, on my my MAO for what the condition lied. So while we were on the phone, let me kind of talk through that. At first, he went on off about the condition. I'm nervous. You can hear it in my voice. I'm nervous. I'm hoping. I'm glad that I'm documenting it because I hope you hear the nervousness in my voice. That wasn't easy, not an easy conversation to have by any means. My heart's still pumping a little bit because he was telling me to. He was talking the way that I wanted him to talk. So we went through the condition. While he was talking, I kind of categorized him as an average renovation because he let me know that before he moved out and started leasing it to his tenant 3 years ago, he replaced the roof. He, where am I? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. He replaced the roof. He threw in new double pane windows. He replaced the siding and gave it a fresh coat of paint. So the roof was the kicker on that one. I didn't ask if there was any foundation issues, but they're always going to say, to their knowledge, they don't know. They don't know of any. I'm just starting to realize that's more so something that's going to come up during inspection and not necessarily a pre-qualifying question that I need to ask, right? Like, is there any foundation issues? If there's foundation issues, they'll tell you, and I've had people tell me. So in this case, it seemed like the AC needed to be replaced. The Because that was about 15 years old. The kitchen and bathrooms need updating, and just like the whole interior, right? It's close to a 2,000 square foot home. So I said that was going to probably cost around, I think, what did I say? Like 50, 60? 60. All on the phone, I kind of categorized him as a $60,000 renovation project. And then deducted that, and I came to an MAO of about 165. And undercut him and gave him a range. Didn't undercut him, but I kind of anchored him by giving him a range of 135 to 150. That way I have some room to move up. I try to get him to give me a price to see. He said I wasn't crazy in making him that offer, right? Um, that would allow him to walk away with 50,000 if I could give him 150. And I tried to have him be like 170 because then I could have worked him down to my max allowable at 165. But he's not really sold yet. He told me he's not really interested. He doesn't even really know why he took the phone call. People will say that too. I know why, because they want to sell. You know what I mean? What do you mean? Because you're interested in knowing how much somebody's willing to offer you. So you're telling me if the number is right, if the price is right, you would sell. And that's what I said to him. I can confirm that with him. I said it exactly like that. Based on what you're saying, you're telling me that my offer is too low, but if it was where you wanted it to be, you would sell. Yeah, yeah, you're not incorrect in saying that. Like, all right. So he didn't really have any motivation other than he was just entertaining me on this phone call, but it ended up turning into a lead because I gave him an offer and because the offer wasn't insulting to him and it sounds like something that he would consider in the future. Same exact situation though as my other lead the other day, who was saying that, see, in this case it makes sense because his tenants pay on time every month, so he's just using that money to pay down his mortgage, and that's a benefit of a cash flowing property. But in my other lead's case, he lives there. So it doesn't make sense for him to just pay his mortgage down every month just so that he can walk away with a bigger check at closing because you spent money to make that money. Where in this guy's case, he's milking it, right? I can just keep those tenants in there and they can just keep paying me every month. So gave him the offer, not something that he's interested in right now, but he said, give me a couple months, give me a call. So I'm gonna text him right now, thanking him. Uh, Thanks for talking with me. I'll give you a ring in a few months. Talk to me again. My name is Derek. I usually don't give out my company name, but in this case, he didn't have any ill will, no malicious intent. It was clear that he was actually considering selling, and I will give my company name out. They're not going to be able to really find me anywhere, but that's fine. At that point, I'll give out my name. Thanks for talking with me again. My name is Derek. I'll give you a ring in a few months. I'll give you a ring in a few months to see what you're thinking. I'll put him on a follow-up. So I have the ability to put people in my texting thing on a follow-up, an automated drip text campaign for hot leads, but in his case, I actually just want to. It's not something that I want to like have him be contacted by a machine again. I just want to follow up with him manually. So I'm gonna tag him as follow up, which I believe should add him to that pipeline stage. I'm gonna come in here. I'm going to, what am I gonna do? I'm going to ensure that he is in that pipeline stage. It doesn't look like there's a trigger set up, so I'm just gonna do it manually. Future follow up pipeline stage, and then create a task for myself. Follow up description. See if he has a number he wants to walk away with. Has his tenant paid down enough of his mortgage to allow him to do that? He says a couple months when I said a month, and he said a couple months. So I'll call him in like 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3. 6 weeks is like a couple days before Christmas Eve. I'm cool with that. We put in some notes here. See, I technically don't even need to have the notes put in here because I have call recording, so
Hey, Bob.
I can just refer
Yeah.
back to this every
Bob,
time.
how's it going? This is Derek. We've been going back and forth through text about your property.
So it's all right there. I'm gonna listen to that call later too, study my film a little bit, but I'll take some note. Purchase property 15 or so years ago, lived there for 10, and leasing it out for 3. Before they moved out 3 years ago, they replaced the roof, windows, siding, and paint. Interior could use updating as well as the AC unit. Not really interested in selling, but Derek offered 130K to 155, or I said 135 to 150, 35K to 150K, and Bob was not insulted by any means and understands that I have to make a profit. I was proud of myself too. He asked me some questions where I feel like I was stumbling through my words a bit, but I ended up pushing through to the other side. I definitely want to study that though and figure out what he said that made me trip up, because he said a few things. I'm trying to remember. He asked what my intention with the property is, which was a tough one. But I like the way that I handled it. I said that, you know, we typically look for properties that we could build some equity into through doing the repairs. So we are looking for a property that needs a bit of love. That would be our intention, is to acquire it. Do the repairs. I kind of spoke as if I was the cash buyer, to be honest. I don't know. People can scrutinize me if they want about that, but that is going to be the intent of my cash buyer. I feel very comfortable and confident speaking on their behalf of what their intention with the property would be. I could have thrown out there that, signing the contract, because I know people teach that, right? I heard somebody say like, well, you tell them, really with properties we do one of 3 things. We can either buy them, fix them up, and resell them. We can buy them, fix them up, and put a new tenant in there, right? Because we'll be able to get more in rent if the place is renovated. Or we can fix it, or sorry, we can buy the property and sell it before doing any repairs, if somebody comes along that's willing to pay us more money for it. So, we want to be clear that we are intending on making a profit here. And I like to slip in there, by no means am I looking to hit the lottery, but we do, this is our intention, is to make a profit on the property. And he says, well, I have no problem with anybody making a profit. I'll tell you. And I was like, all right, cool. So we're on the same page about that. Then what was he saying?
tenants have been good, paid on time, in full every month. Long-term lease until May 2022. Thinking about selling after tenants pay down some more of his mortgage. All right, let's see everything that I've been missing out on. Okay, stop. All right, I can do that. 1.5 mil minimum offer, says Beth. Let's see what this estimate is. I'll tell you, if it's in this city, it's nowhere north of 200,000. 141,000. She wants a $1.5 million offer. I'm gonna go ahead and just say she is. Tag her high asking price. Not interested. I gotta cut out here in a second. Motherfucker, leave me alone. See, I put fuck, but I didn't put fucker. So it didn't catch up on the profanity here and handle it automatically. So what do I, Nancy? Oh, we cannot talk about, I already told you got the fucking wrong number. So please leave me alone. I won't be nice next time you harass me again. Pendale. See, and then it texted him again. That's what I don't want to happen. Shit's bugging out. I need to fix that because I messed it up when I imported the list with the landlines. No, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. Go find someone else to exploit. Not interested. Stop. I got a voicemail from Jose? No, I didn't. Wrong number. All right. Pretty good conversation though. That's another great conversation. I've had a few of those now. Two good phone calls through text. And that's on probably like 1,500 texts. I've had like two really good leads. He's a lead. I'm considering that a lead for sure. He gave me the condition. He was. It sounds like he doesn't really have any intention on listing it on market. When he does go to sell, he's interested in a cash offer. He entertained the phone call. We hit it off a little bit, built a little bit of rapport. We were laughing towards the end. So I'm considering that a lead. I gave him a price that he wasn't insulted by any means. When it comes down to it, if he's a man, not a man, but a man that knows what he wants and a man that is going to take advantage of the situation, he will negotiate, but just I'm hoping that he's not gonna ask for anything more than like 170. Or I'm hoping that he doesn't ask for anything above like 180. Because I think if he asks 180, we can at least try to meet in the middle somewhere at 165. Because I told him on the high end I'll be able to pay 150. So as long as he doesn't want anything like above 180, the ARV on that one I think was, what did I say, 290. So 290. If I found the right buyer that was willing to take like a reasonable profit, I'd kill it actually. So I can go up higher than what I said. I'm glad I said what I said, but I can definitely go up higher if it is 290, which I think I said. I said 225 less repairs. Yeah, makes sense. But again, if I found the right buyer,
and I got them at like 165, I could probably take something down like a 20,000 assignment fee if I found the right buyer, maybe more. If I found a buyer who was willing to take like a $25,000 profit, and I wanted to take a $25,000 profit, and the repairs could be done within 60,000. My max allowable would be right around 162. So I threw him 135 to 150. So as long as he's not crazy unreasonable, I'm gonna try to get that one under 162. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't answer you back. Not interested. I wanted to put those notes on there. I'll run the comps later. But I guess it is worth putting what I think the ARV is. Those are all the notes that I typically like to put on my properties when they're leads or follow-ups. I like to set myself a task, give myself as much context of the conversation as possible through notes. It's really helpful that these calls get recorded and they're just stored right there on the actual conversation. And then leave myself notes of any comps that I've identified, which I do have right here. So I'm going to take this property specifically. And that's another thing. I would have to get somebody to agree on it, but it's literally the same subdivision right around the block. So I think this is a good comp. That one and this one that's on the same street. That's the only thing is you can argue that that's a better comp because it's on the same street, but it was sold like 8 months earlier and the market's only been appreciating. So I'm going to say comps, save that note, and then leave myself a note of ARV, what I think it is at 290K. I said 290, 260, yeah. 15, 180, 85, 185. Yeah, like 290. 290K, MAO, 60K repairs. MAO is, what did I say, 165. Boom. Just so that when I revisit that in a couple months, I will know what I'm talking about and I won't be blindsided by it, and I can just hop right back into the conversation. Because I'm gonna get so many leads before then, in between now and then, that I'm gonna just forget about that guy. He's gonna be a drop in the bucket. All right, that's everybody. Good conversation. Still some unreads that I have here. Not Raul, wrong number. Take me off your list. It's not for sale unless you have 300 to give me. Oh yeah, I was gonna look to see if that one was good, but I'll do that later. Appreciate you if you tapped in. Again, my name is Derek, virtually wholesaling from California, sourcing opportunity out in Texas. So I'm doing everything virtual wholesaling for the most part right now on my channel. I have some pre-recorded series that documents my process on how I'm building my list, marketing to my list, and bringing those contracts to close. I'm also trying to go live at least once a day, Monday through Friday, to document my cold calling, my lead follow-ups, my lead generation through cold calling and texting, as well as when I do get something under contract and it's going along, I try to document that a little bit of isolated to a degree, if that makes sense, so that you can kind of watch beginning to end on one specific deal. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Again, I go live Monday through Friday, once a day, around midday at least. Today, this is my second time I've gone live. So I appreciate it, and I would love to have you. We would love to have you. Starting to build a little community over here of seems to be beginner wholesalers. So if that's you and maybe you're looking for a little bit of guidance, I by no means am some pro guru, but I have done 2 deals, so I know that I at least know a little bit more than somebody who's just picking it up for the first time. So please feel free to ask any questions. Drop them in the comment section, whether or not you watched it live or you're watching it after the fact. And like I said, look forward to seeing you in the next one. And until then, until tomorrow, peace.